Every year, people make the same fitness goal: train harder. But most fail because recovery gets ignored, especially connective tissue that muscles depend on to grow. Frog Fuel was developed by Navy SEALs and perfected by a Stanford-trained scientist, delivering 15 grams of nanohydrolyzed collagen protein that digests in just 15 minutes. It's science-backed and ready to drink. No mixing, no sugar, no junk. This year, don't just train harder, recover smarter. Go to frogfuel.com. That's frogfuel.com. Stay unbreakable.
At Lowe's, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, members get free delivery, install, and more when you spend $2,500 on select major appliances. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 2/25 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, Florida. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
Visit your nearby Lowe's on Russell Branch Parkway Southeast in Leesburg.
This is Optimal Relationships Daily. 8 signs your partner has too much emotional baggage for a relationship. Part 2, by Orna and Matthew Walters of loveonpurpose.com. Number 4, he doesn't respond well to your feelings. Many men are not as in touch with their emotional life as women are. They can have judgment about how emotions are expressed. When a man is uncomfortable with your emotions and tries to argue with you about how you feel or downplay your response, he might have too much emotional baggage for a relationship. You create connection with another person by sharing your feelings. So, a man who is unable to share his emotions or doesn't want to hear about yours is not a good match to create a lasting, loving bond with. A man who can't handle your emotions certainly can't handle his own. The right man will hold space for you and your emotional life. A man who can allow you to feel however you feel without taking it personally or downplaying your experience is worth investing your time in and getting to know more deeply. Number 5, he gets defensive when you make requests. A woman who is in her feminine is not a passive woman acquiescing to a man's desires. She is responsive to him. She may have to make a request that he do something differently. For example, if he is not one to open your car door or be chivalrous, and this is something you like, make a request to see if he is willing to win your heart. How he responds will let you know if he has too much emotional baggage for a relationship. If he agrees to your request and makes an effort to please you, then this is a man who is interested in a relationship with you, not just any woman. When you make requests, you find out if you're just convenient or if he really cares for you. He may believe that a woman should open her own door, and the two of you may not be a values match. If that's true, then you can agree to part ways amicably. Be wary of a man who gets defensive when you make requests. He's showing you what he will be like in the future when the two of you face challenges together or disagree. Not every man is going to be an ideal match for you or be willing to aspire to meet your needs and wants. If you don't ask, then you won't discover if he is willing to stick it out with you for the long term. Number 6, he has trouble apologizing. Everyone makes mistakes in relationships. You can get triggered and behave badly, and so can he. You both may say hurtful things that you don't really mean in the heat of the moment. The truth is, it sure sucks being human sometimes. An emotionally healthy individual takes responsibility for his behavior and apologizes, though. He may even offer to make amends. Someone who has too much emotional baggage for a relationship will have trouble taking responsibility and apologizing. Notice what happens when you share with him how his behavior has affected you. Does he express remorse? Does he apologize? Or does he justify and defend his bad behavior? If he can't take responsibility, let him go. The last thing you need is to be in a relationship with a man who behaves like a child. It is not your job to fix him or teach him how the world works. Dating like a grown-up means you are both willing to work to be better together. Number 7, he shuts down in conflict and refuses to work through problems. Most people are conflict avoidant. It's common to dislike drama in relationships. Constant conflict can be a sign that the two of you are not compatible. However, conflict is a natural part of two people in a relationship together. After all, you are in a relationship with a completely different person than you. You each have different strategies for dealing with stress. Navigating the differences is one of the keys to long-lasting love. Conflict can be a doorway to a deeper connection when it's expected and handled consciously. You both have to be willing to work through the challenges that arise for a deeper connection to occur. If he shuts down in conflict and refuses to discuss the issues, then he has too much emotional baggage for a relationship. Avoiding conflict and negative emotions is a sign of someone who is afraid of doing the deeper work together. Making the effort to work through conflict will bring the two of you closer together and create a bond that can't be broken. Being willing to talk about the hard stuff is a sign of someone who is emotionally mature. This is the type of man that you can weather any storm with. And number 8, he doesn't respect your boundaries. The bad math of a Hollywood movie romance tells us that 1 + 1 = 1. Codependency is built on the belief that you need someone to complete you. You are a whole and complete person who will be in a relationship with another whole and complete person. The two of you will create a third entity, the relationship. This is also bad math, however. It does make clear the equation for long-lasting love, 1 + 1 = 3. A healthy relationship is one where you realize that there is a boundary where you end and he begins. A man who does not respect this boundary has too much emotional baggage for a relationship. He can be clingy or needy. He will confuse his feelings with yours. He may even blame you when he feels bad. A man who doesn't have boundaries will want to jump right into exclusivity before he even gets to know you. He may rush into a physical relationship and declare his love over-enthusiastically. Setting and keeping clear boundaries will scare away a man like this. Healthy boundaries are most important in an intimate relationship because in the beginning, the chemical high has us looking at a stranger with rose-colored glasses. The inevitable power struggle stage will occur with any person you're in a relationship with. It is the natural individuation that must occur between two people. Keeping healthy boundaries will steer you clear of a man who has too much emotional baggage for a relationship. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled, 8 Signs Your Partner Has Too Much Emotional Baggage for a Relationship, by Orna and Matthew Walters of loveonpurpose.com.
Are you a fraud-paying American? It's a fact that 1 in 4 honest, hard-working, tax-paying Americans has been a victim of identity theft. With LifeLock Identity Theft Protection, though, if your identity is stolen, they fix it, guaranteed, and get you your money back. Last year, the IRS flagged over $16 billion in refunds for identity fraud. That's billions of dollars that could come from your salary, overtime, or second job. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats you could easily miss on your own. And if your information does fall into the wrong hands, only LifeLock has U.S.-based restoration specialists who are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Visit LifeLock.com/iHeart and save up to 40% your first year. That's 40% off at LifeLock.com/iHeart. Terms apply.
Every year, people make the same fitness goal, train harder. But most fail because recovery gets ignored, especially connective tissue that muscles depend on to grow. Frog Fuel was developed by Navy SEALs and perfected by a Stanford-trained scientist, delivering 15 grams of nanohydrolyzed collagen protein that digests in just 15 minutes. It's science-backed and ready to drink. No mixing, no sugar, no junk. This year, don't just train harder, recover smarter. Go to frogfuel.com. That's frogfuel.com. Stay unbreakable.
And that'll do it for the conclusion of this one from Orna and Matthew. Thanks again to them for sharing. Now, this is a list of 8, right? It gives us a lot to think about, of course. Those who are tuned in are more than likely looking to find something out about their partners. But before we sign off today, I would advise everyone out there to not sleep on the opportunity to read between the cracks of this article and realize that we might also look for these signs in ourselves and our own presence in relationships. No one wants to be the only one having too much emotional baggage, as the title reads, and rarely does anyone believe that they are. So it's really important to turn the script on ourselves and be sure that we aren't the ones exhibiting any of these signs. And if you are, where might it come from? How can you be patient with yourself? And how might you extend the same gratitude to someone else in your life that's behaving similarly? Good questions to ask. I'll leave you to it, everyone, as we do have to end now. I appreciate you sticking around for both parts of this post, though, and through the end. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.